G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And over the last year I've restored around 20 cheap cars on the channel, and fortunately on pretty much every single one except the Inspire I managed to make a decent bit of profit. But in the comments you guys have often been asking, how do you do it? Where do you get these cars from and how much profit do you actually make? And so rather than a normal restoration with this Nissan Tiida, which would be about as interesting as watching paint dry, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to show you guys how I do it, from purchasing, fixing, cleaning and selling. Naturally, the first thing you need to do if you want to make profit on a car is buy a car, and there's three main places that I tend to get them from. The first is Facebook Marketplace or Trade Me, and the trick here is to find something that's priced under market value because it's got a few small fixable issues often that the owner can't be bothered dealing with, like some cosmetic issues, or perhaps it doesn't have a warrant of fitness or needs some parts installed in the engine bay, something like that. And then if you go and view the car in person, you have more negotiating power because of course the owner knows right then and there if they accept your offer, they're going to have cash in hand. The second place is Turners or Mannheim auctions, which are our two biggest ex-lease, ex-rental and just sort of cheap rubbish trade-in auction sites. I must admit I am starting to move away from these just because the competition is getting far too fierce. I managed to get a couple of good deals off of there, like the $7,000 BRZ and the $1,600 Accord Euro. However, most of the cars that I've bought, I feel like I've just paid more than I wanted to because someone else really wanted it as well, and so was just bidding it up to high heaven. But if you keep an eye on the auctions and carefully pick out ones that you think might be suitable as a flip and make sure that you don't go over budget, then there can be some gems in there. And the final place is to buy trade-ins directly from a dealer. Fortunately, because I worked at Honda for a number of years, I know quite a few people in the trade, and so have been able to source a few cars at trade-in prices from local dealers, like for instance this 2006 Nissan Tiida, which I got from the local Mitsubishi dealer for just $1,100. So now that we've got our car, what needs to be done to it? Well, fortunately the registration is good for another 7 months, but the warrant of fitness and service are due fairly soon, so I'll need to get that done just for peace of mind for the new owner. The front and rear bumpers predictably are pretty hammered and the mounting bracket is broken off over here, but other than that it's actually pretty mint, and apparently it's only had one owner from new. Now of course, compared with most of the cars that I restore here on the channel, this is not a very good car. I've always reserved a special kind of hatred for the Nissan Tiida because I swear it's only driven by useless drivers who couldn't care less about cars. In fact, I made an entire video dedicated to my hatred of the Nissan Tiida a number of years ago here on the channel. It's got a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder engine making a whopping 96 kilowatt, not even three figures, and it's paired up with a 4-speed automatic transmission, of which many gears are called but few are chosen. The lackluster drivetrain is really not helped by the beige exterior and incredible lack of features. And no, I'm not talking about like no auto lights and no keyless entry. It doesn't even have rear grab handles, no buttons on the steering wheel, no alloys, no mirrors in the sun visors. Its feature list includes lights, wipers, radio, air conditioning, central locking and electric windows. 6 features total in the Nissan Tiida. Obviously this car is not for me. However, for the kind of person that this car is for, with only 122,000 kilometers, once all tidied up, it'll be absolutely perfect at getting from A to B reliably. And nothing more.
To get the mighty Tiida ready for sale, I began by sending it down to Honda, where I used to work, for a warrant of fitness and service. This cost right on $250 to get done, leaving our total investment in the car at just $1,350. With all of the mechanical work completed, I then went down to my local pick-apart and got a couple of bumpers to replace the battered ones that came on the car. Unfortunately, despite walking around 6 or 7 different gold Tiidas, I couldn't find one with bumpers that were mint, unlike the Accords I've restored in the past. So I had to settle for ones that were only marginally better than what I had. With another $150 in bumpers invested in the car and it now owing me $1,500 total, it was finally ready to be washed. Thanks to the previous owner keeping the car garaged, the majority of the paintwork was actually in great shape and really just needed a good wash. After scrubbing it down and drying it off, I polished the front and rear bumpers with a dual action polisher and cutting compound, and then wiped the whole car down with Bowden Speed Machine, making water run off it like a duck's back. With a lick of tyre shine applied, the exterior was done, and I began on the interior by replacing the newspaper, stopping the boot trim rattling with some foam tape, and I got rid of the ugly rubber floor mats inside. The rest of the interior cleaned up nicely with a solid vacuum throughout, and after wiping down all of the plastics, the Tiida was ready to be photographed and listed online.
So now that we've found a decent photography spot, I try to do a slightly better job than most people on Facebook Marketplace by actually taking 10 or 15 semi-decent photos of the outside, inside, and engine.
And then I bring those photos home and give them an edit using Adobe Photoshop Express. And the last thing to do, of course, is to list it up for sale. We've got it up for $4,500. We've taken a few nice photos here. And so, over the coming days, we'll see if we get any inquiry.
So, while we wait for someone to come look at and hopefully buy the Nissan Tiida, let's go for a drive and see if these things really are as awful as people like to say they are. The engine is truly one of the 4 cylinders of all time. It doesn't sound particularly good. It actually makes a surprising amount of power, to be honest. 96 kilowatt doesn't seem like very much, but I mean, when you put your foot down, it does accelerate. And you know, I've got to say, right, enter first, way on the power. Even though I would never buy a Nissan Tiida for my own personal transportation, it's not an awful car. It's boring, but it's not bad. It handles acceptably. It has somewhat reasonable steering feel. I have some idea of what the front end of the car is doing. The handbrake on this is one of the strongest handbrakes I've ever seen. Don't ask me how I know. You can thrash it through a couple corners. And I must admit, I actually kind of by accident ended up taking this on a 300-kilometer road trip to do a review of that Legacy you would have seen the other day. It was rather embarrassing turning up to review this really nice Legacy in a Nissan Tiida. But I've got to admit, in driving it long distance on the open road, I could overtake people. It was reasonably comfortable. Angel was comfortable enough in the passenger seat, but also so bored that she ended up falling asleep. But we got to where we needed to go and back. It didn't let us down at all, and it did it on like half a tank of fuel. So there is some merit for the Nissan Tiida. I still feel like a Civic or even a Corolla or certainly a Mazda 3 will do the same job as this, but it'll be a way better drive. But I can't really say that it's a bad car. It's just not an interesting car. So let's jump to the future and see how much we managed to sell the mighty Tiida for. And with that, the Nissan Tiida is sold. We managed to sell it for $4,000, and given it owed us right around $1,500 means we made around $2,500 profit. Not bad at all. And so with the Tiida gone, I've got myself another couple of projects, a very cheap BA Falcon and another Accord Euro. Make sure to stay tuned for those videos, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time.